You did good job, buddy. I gave him lump sum.
Where do you think he's taking it? Where are we gonna? Think so. I will. I'll put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's going this way. This is so steep. I would not have gone this way. But he's not afraid. I'm afraid, like, of stuff sliding away, or you know what I mean?
Be careful, Mark. You're just like, what's going on?
So we're gonna want to go that way. Whoa. Uh-oh. Here he goes. I love it. 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 It's gonna look so good. So the next thing we will do is this is gonna dry really well. We'll go around and do a second coat, and then we'll flip it and we'll get it into position, and then I'm going to re-enamel the inside. So that's what's coming up next. All right, so it's been a hot little minute since I last did anything with the tub. You saw that I spray painted the outside, and so today what I'm going to work on is I have to hose it out, mop it out, and then I'm going to scour it with steel wool, and that's just to prep the surface so that I can enamel it. So I'll just, you know, bring you along for a little bit of that. It's probably not going to be too super exciting to see, but I figured you could see that I'm doing all the work myself. And I think it'll be worth it in the end. It'll be fun, a fun little project. So, all right, let's get started. I thought using a mop would be a good idea, so we're just going to do that. The kit that I bought came with a packet of steel wool, 2 little pads. So I'm going to use the first one. So the instructions are to clean the tub really well, which I've already done, and then it's to scour it, rinse it, and then you scour it a second time, rinse it, and then they send you a special solvent that you will basically like clean the tub with that, rinse that, let it dry, and then you can start your enameling. So we'll just do a little bit of scouring, and I'll pause it so you don't have to watch all of that, and then we'll pop back in. Merlin's laying on the other side of the tub, and he's pretty much laying in a puddle. It's ridiculous. Boogie, you're getting wet. You see that? Do you feel that your butt's getting wet? Do you even care? It's like, I don't even care. I don't care. I'm coming your way. Oh. I think my helper has decided this project is just too tough for him. This is what normally happens. It's okay. It's okay, Boogie. Yeah, I know. It's just tough. Just don't roll down the hill. Whoopsie. Okay, so I reread the instructions and actually I was wrong. You scour, then you use the solvent, then you rinse, then you scour again and use the solvent again. It's not 2 scours and a solvent. It's a scour, solvent, scour, solvent. So let me go prep the solvent. Okay, so I prepared my solvent. It's in that green bucket. And I'm just going to take it with they say to use a sponge. I don't have a sponge. I'm just going to use an old rag. And I'm just going to wipe the inside of the tub. They really highly recommend that you wear gloves because this can be caustic to your skin. So we want to be very careful. And so we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we'll scour again and we'll do it one more time. And then we have to let it dry. So here we go. I hate cleaning the bathtub, and this is no different. But this is going to yield much better results. The reward is bigger. The gloves are made for giants. I mean, this is crazy. They're huge. Alright, so now I'm going to do a repeat of what I just did. I don't know that you necessarily need to watch that because, well, it's just a repeat of what I just did. In case you were wondering, my helper has just relocated, but he's still not really helping. That's okay. But I have something else funny to show you. That is Faith, and she is currently in the stream, and she just spent the last 5 minutes splashing herself, having a good old time. The rest of the horses are, I don't know if you can see, right there. They're in our little side meadow, trimming the grass for me. I figure, why mow if you have built-in mowers? So Faith is preferring to eat the stuff that's on the bank of the stream. So I've scoured, cleaned with a solvent, and I scoured again and I cleaned again. So, and then what I did, of course, I rinsed it out after each of those steps. She's playing in the water again. Oh my God. Anyway, sorry, I get so easily distracted. And then what I did is I took an old towel and I tried to dry it as best I could just to speed the process. But now what I'm going to do is just let the tub sit for, I don't know, 15-20 minutes in the sun, allow it to really dry. I am going to throw a sheet over it so that none of the debris from the tree above can fall in, because then that just creates more work. So I'm going to do that, and then the next time I pop in, I think we're going to be enameling. So I'm really excited for this process. So see you soon. Okay, so I allowed about maybe an hour and a half or so for the tub to dry from the cleaning. And now I'm going to apply the first coat. This specifically says that it may not look great the first coat. It sometimes takes 2 to 3 coats for it to look okay. Again, this is not my bathtub in my house, so I'm not as concerned about how it looks, but I do want to protect the tub. So it says to do the first coat, and then you have to wait 10 minutes, and then you can do your second coat, 10 minutes, and then your third coat. It does say, though, however, you don't want to go longer than 6 hours between coats. I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm a rule follower, so we're going to stick to that. So I'm going to go ahead and start applying it. Again, I'm just going to let you watch for a little bit. I'm not going to bore you. And then when I'm finished, hopefully I'll be able to show you the finished product, and it'll look really nice. So let's get started. Okay, so I have completed a large part of the re-enameling, and I'm very impressed with the results. This tub was really rough looking because it had been sitting outside for a really long time. We used to use it as an old water trough for the horses, and then we converted to regular tubs, like water trough tubs, and it was in rough shape. So this is the, I would say, 2.5 coats. I'm going to let this dry for a teeny bit, and then I'm going to go in and try to do one final coat. But I hope you can see how nice this turned out. I'm like really happy. So the next thing is I did buy a new drain assembly. I am going to plug up the holes that were the overflow and where the faucets would come out, and just so that I can fill it as high as possible. And then I am going to use a old pool pump that I have to do a filtration system so that the water is being filtered, so that I don't have to empty it and refill it very often. I will also be chlorinating the water. So yeah, pretty impressed. So I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to wait a few minutes, and then I'm going to do a final coat, and then we have to let it sit for 2 days, basically 48 hours, and then we can start doing the other repairs as far as the drain and plugging up those holes, and it should be ready for soaking. Okay, so the enamel has dried. You have to ignore the couple little bugs that have gotten in. We have installed the drain. Pretty simple little drain that you can buy at, I think I got it at Home Depot. And then this was Mark's great idea. These are stress balls, and they fit in there like we shoved them in there. I'll show you on the back side. And then for the other hole, just as a really simple fix, we used the Gorilla tape. It's for wet, basically it's for wet seal. So it should seal up that hole pretty good. And then what I did is I came back and sprayed it with enamel. And then I'll show you on the back side here what the little, it's kind of funny, what the little baseballs look like. So for our filtration system, what we decided is I never run the pump when I'm in, even when I'm in the pool. I just don't run the pump. So we're just going to have the hoses draped in there, and we have them secured with a piece of cork and some clamps. So basically when I go to get in the tub, I will take the hoses out, and when I get back in, I'll drop them back in. The only thing that will need to happen is I will need to prime the pump each time, which is not a big deal. So we're going to put a little bit of water in it and see if it holds. Okay, we put water in and it's holding. Nothing's leaking. We did do a slight change to the filter. We have it on the corner. And actually this way we don't have to take it in and out, so we don't have to prime the pump each time. This is just a filter that we use on our camper when we need to get water. Our water comes from a well, so there's sometimes sediment, and it just makes more work because it puts the sediment in the pool, or in the tub in this case. So I think it's going to work out pretty well. I did cut a solar cover out for it, which I'll put in and maybe do a little video of that in a second. But happy to know that it's working, and I think it's going to be a really nice place to soak. Okay, so obviously my kindergarten cutting skills need some work, but I will fix that. So this is the solar cover. It's basically bubble wrap that sits on top of the water, and what happens is the sun will shine and it'll heat up the air in those little pockets, the little bubbles, and that will warm the water. I'm not so worried about that. It was more that I needed something to keep debris from getting in the I keep saying pool, tub. Let's see, so that's that, and then we'll just pull this off so you can see what we've done with the filtration. I also added in there little covers for the hose. I feel safer about that. It won't be sucking big things into the filter. I don't want to burn up my pump. So you can see by the water, it's really doing its job. I just added some pH up, and I got the alkalinity dialed in, and now and then I added in the chlorine so that the water will now be chlorinated. So I think we're in good shape. Overall, I'm really happy. I'll just have to let you guys know how it does as far as being a substitute swimming pool. Definitely think I have to do something with these cinder blocks too, because they are ugly. But I have some ideas. So, yeah.